What's going on, everybody? We got a couple of warm weeks ahead of us. We're going to do some construction work and invest in some new equipment. Let's roll. I appreciate all you for tuning in to Homeowners. It's been a minute since we've been back, and the snow has since subsided. We haven't had any major traffic accidents. I have not decided on a specific place to put the blade, so we're just going to put it back by our shed. But with the purchase of a new skid steer, that brings up the question, do we start working on possible side projects with the landscape business and accumulate some extra cash? As you can see, since last time, our money has significantly depleted, and most of that is due to budget cuts for the city and the county. For those that might be first-time viewers, this series is paired with by Public Works. Therefore, not all of the money in the top right is mine. I'm really going to have to watch how we spend the money for the shop, but luckily we have no super big plans for expansion other than maybe expanding our yard so we can park our implements more efficiently. Now let's just see what we have to pick from. My personal budget is no more than $22,000. I understand that skid steers are not cheap, but I also know that I need to get something that is going to be able to take the load of what I might be putting on it. I think that's all of their used ones, or at least the small ones. What do they have in the big section? Well, nothing's changed. They still got both deers. Those are expensive. The Kubota would be really nice, but that's a $60,000 to $80,000 unit, depending on how new it is. This stuff's going to be more where I'm looking. I got another Kubota. What's that? 75? Ooh, badges tell me that's a 23 at minimum. That's going to be no less than 40,000. What about the Takashi? $26,000. Very nice. With the Bobcat. 15.3. Now that is more up my alley. Except this thing would not have a very adequate hydraulic system to run something like a brush mower. Plus, I don't see any mounts on the back that you could put weights. You'd have to weld your own. It's not a huge problem, just one extra step I don't really want to do. Let's see, 773 and an 863. Pretty nice. Very simplistic. Yet again, this one does not have any rear weights, but it does have the holes for them. What about the 863? Yeah, still a very clean unit. And they want 11,000. That's not bad. Went ahead and got the key from the guy inside. It's not terribly chilly out, but let the motor warm up. The thing I'm not used to about these old Bobcats is they had foot-mounted controls. The joysticks in your hand were mainly just to run the wheels, and your feet did all of the loader and bucket controls. Feels like it moves nice. It's relatively compact, but it's one of the bigger units. I believe for my wallet's sake, I'm going to have to bite my tongue and go with this thing. But we are going to have to also rent some of the attachments like the mulcher and the Harley rake. Now, what is that next to the pallet forks? Is that a receiver? Ooh, kind of looks like the one I pieced together a couple years ago. Except I don't have it anymore. 500. I'll see if I can get it as a package deal. Let me do some negotiating with Keith up front, and we'll see if we can bring some of this stuff home. $12,500 later, and we are set to roll. The skid loader I was able to talk down to $10,500, but our little receiver mount, I had to pay full price. That leaves the rental fee for both the Harley rake and forestry mulcher at $750 a piece. Don't know why the ramps are out on the truck, but I'm going to have to address that. Can I strap this down inside the bucket? Yes, I can. Oh, I strapped the loader as well. Heading into springtime, we will have the ability to finish our renovations by adding the chicken coop, and we are also going to try and work on planting the garden. We have all of those self-propelled, like hand-powered tools, so we should be able to make a legitimate garden. The only thing I'm still looking for is somebody gave us the idea. In the mod hub, the International 70, which is pretty much just a Cub Cadet lawnmower, this thing came with a 3-point mounted cultivator. And while I still have not found one, I am still on the hunt. I am just going to trust my instincts. I balanced the weight properly, and we will be on our way homeward bound. If you guys do love the Homeowner series and you'd love to support the channel more, please be sure to head down below, consider dropping a like, and smashing that subscribe button. I try to post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday unless I make an announcement otherwise, and I also try to make an effort to cycle through my current running series. First thing we're doing when we get home is getting the pressure washer. I don't know why this truck got so dirty so quickly, but it's driving me nuts. Kind of like the cop sitting at the intersection. I think that might be slightly illegal unless he's off on the shoulder. Nope, I think he was sitting in the middle of the intersection. Ooh. Is he following me? No, he's not. Good. Man, what is going on? Everything on the trailer's getting super dirty. It's not even that bad out. I would like to be using my real-life truck to do a lot of this work, but I also am smart enough to realize an F-150 is not built to tow what I am currently towing right now. Pressure washer, pressure washer, pressure washer. Where might that be? It's up against the wall. Okay, good. It does clean off. I was wondering if it also might have been bugged. Oh, that is so much better. Now, onto the landscape mode so we can document the placement of our stakes so you can see where we have to build, what we have to tear down, and what goes from here. Because if I remember correctly, we're going with this shop, and we'll paint it to match the house. $30,000 will be the main materials for the building's cost. All of the dirt, tree removal, and labor might be a different story. So I need markers at the first tree just outside the balcony. And then we go 4 trees back along the tree line, and we'll make a rectangle. Let's grab my favorite marking light. And we'll go here, here, 4th tree, there, and there. Looks about right. This one might be a little bit off. I should have rented a stump grinder. But maybe I could just chainsaw it down enough. Ooh, I think it's small enough we won't even have to cut it down. It'll just delete it. Less realistic, but less work for me. Man, if only tree removal was really that easy. Enough yapping. Let's get to doing some work.
Old, gone fishing with a handful of worms on a riverbank with her daddy, cheeks all smudged in dirt. She's so proud, catching fish, missing both front teeth. Her daddy blind and happy to the trouble she'll be. All the trouble she'll be. A complicated wonder must have took more time to figure her out, to get perfect just right. 7 days he took, then he said it is good, but there's just something missing in my world. So on the 8th day, God made country girls, country girls.
Now that worked out great. I think I got a little bit too far on this side, but even if we have to make the driveway portion this wide with gravel, that should work out just fine. I mainly want to see how close we got to the parameters that I set with the beacons. Ooh, we're a little skinny, but for the main shed portion, we are covered. How close did I get the length? Shop? Good. Patio? Not so much. I also was really trying not to drive on the grass because you could see the darker portion. That is actual sod. I paid a lot of money for that. So let's place our order for the color palette the building is going to need. Like a gray roof, white sidewalls, and I think we'll just kind of have to keep it as it is. Yeah, let's put in the order. It's been a brutal last 2 weeks. Even though it says the 3rd of January, I have it set on 4-day seasons, which means that each day is considered a week. Honey, are you ready to go and see the new shed for things that I should have sold but refuse to get rid of?
Well, you know, maybe you'd have a better chance of not gaining a massive amount of items if you didn't keep going on Facebook Marketplace.
It's more than just Marketplace!
Yeah, that's totally why we've gone to all those meetups with random people over the last couple of months.
Authorized dealerships?
What are you going to complain about me doing? I don't buy a bunch of random stuff off the internet.
Tell that to your book collection.
They're gifts.
Oh, sorry. As were mine.
You can't deny it.
I don't like this game.
I like winning.
So you're 1 for 3, huh?
Shut it.
All right, let's go look at this shed. Well, hon, what do you think?
Looks very nice, dear.
I still gotta do the gravel, but that's besides the point.
Well, it's a work in progress, like most of your projects.
Well, it seems to be very spacious, doesn't it?
It is definitely very spacious, dear. If you weren't going to fill it up with all of your random purchases, I'd say we could have...
It's gonna be organized!
I was just gonna say it would be a nice event space. No need to get all huffy with me.
And that is why we have the other garage that has the fancy fun couch.
Your man cave shed.
Yes, but still, it has a vending machine, food, comfort. What else could you want? Don't you dare say space.
I don't know. I kind of like the aesthetics of this one.
The other shop has heated walls. Wait, does it have heated? I can't remember. Is this thing? Hey, wait a minute. Okay, it is not heated. Yeah, it is. That's an insulated wall.
Looks insulated to me.
Why is there no, like, well, there's clearly no HVAC.
There's no radiant heaters. But it kind of smells funny in here.
Like motor oil and hardworking man things.
Yeah, and the other one doesn't smell like that yet. You haven't tainted it.
You know, if it makes you so happy to be in that shop, why don't you go out there and spend the night?
You could decorate with string lights and make it all pretty in there.
Are you gonna be the one that climbs up on the ladder to do all of this, or are you gonna make me do it?
I'll just smile pretty at you.
Oh, like you do when you don't get up with your alarm in the morning?
Don't make this personal.
Oh, we just crossed that line. Okay, I'll make you a deal. I'll try my best to keep the place in order where if we needed to have an event, it doesn't stink like automotive leaking oil stuff. We could still use that as an event center, but mainly right now it's parking.
I don't want to use it anymore.
Okay, fine. Perfect storage for me. Besides doing the gravel for the driveway, I need to get stuff shuffled over. This is a perfect time to try and use the new attacher for the front of the skid loader to get the boat over. I know I won't have a full utilization for the tool, like shuffling trailers around a big yard, but for what I'm trying to do, especially getting that trailer out from under the awning, it might help me from saving driving on the grass all the time. And just so I won't regret this, I am going to try to keep the least leaky, least smelly stuff out of that shed, so if we were to use it for a holiday gathering or some sort of just special event, then I'm not getting nagged at that I tried changing the oil and dumping 15 gallons of gasoline on the ground. There we go. Yeah! The last time I remember using one of these, I used to work at a Vermeer dealer, and what always tricked me up about it was it's counterintuitive to the counterintuitive. This thing is pretty much every trailer backer's nightmare that has never done it, because when you think you need to turn the wheel the opposite way, no, now you need to turn it the opposite of the opposite way. This will be the best example I could give you. So now I need the trailer to go left. If I was backing it this way, I would turn the wheel to the left. Well, if I turn the wheel to the left, now I'm going the complete opposite direction. So you really got to trick your mind into where this trailer is supposed to go. I'm screwing myself up. I also got to remember that the trailer's jack is a wheel, so once we get it in, we can just adjust it by hand, which I think that is exactly what we are going to do. There we go. Right up against the wall. Still have enough room to open the door. Maybe put some stuff against that wall. And this is out of the way. Our little Honda hasn't left any puddles. This thing's been very reliable. And that opens up the main workbench, so I don't have to worry about that. We could probably move the 56 over. I need to replace the drive belt on this. It keeps slipping off and I can't put it into gear. Beautiful. What about that four-wheeler? The only thing is this does leak oil, so we might just put it back by this press. Yeah, where the 56 was. That leaves the whole main workshop open. Let's check the main garage. We'll keep both pickups, but I might move this mower and that mower. Really, this whole line besides the pressure washer. The thing about the 45 is that this yard is pretty darn big. What I might end up doing is I will sell the mower deck underneath the 317, and then we'll move this mower onto the fleet for the landscape crew. The Honda's light enough, we'll just store it in the back of the truck. That's really the only thing we'll ever use this for. And that really should do it. I might just leave the fertilizer spreader. It's not harming anything. But this can be big and bulky, so let's leave it by the door. At this point, I believe it's just hauling in rock to get the last of the driveway finished, and we can call it a day. It took one really full dump truck. There is our final result. We might still need to haul a little bit in over the culvert pipe we put underneath, because this is now flattened out and level with the roadside. But this thing is ready for service, and hopefully for more marketplace purchases that my wife won't have to shove me out of the house for. Anyways, that's going to be all the time we have for you guys today on the Homeowner Series. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you want to check out the playlist as this grows, be sure to look at that in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Other than that, I'm going to get myself inside where it is nice and warm. Make sure to keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh, and most importantly, keep it fun. We shall see you guys all in the next one. This is the Rental Man out.